Good evening, everybody. This is episode 3.
I'd like to thank everybody again for watching last week's episode. Appreciate it. Keep the emails coming, keep the IMs coming, keep the texts coming. So later this week, it's kinda harder with my parents home now. I'm gonna be doing this on the fly, and it's gonna be kind of hereditary. I'm gonna try to give you guys an episode per week as promised. I can't guarantee anything, but I will try. Like I said, if you want to email me your questions, it's james.r.chorley@wmish.edu. You want to Facebook me, James Schwarney. Public, you can find me easy. And then whoever knows me, text or call me on your opinions. I want to take care of a couple omissions from last week's, one big omission from last week's show. Since Syracuse did lose last week, but Arizona still, even though they lost in double OT to Arizona State, they're still on the 1-9 minorities bracketology. Like I said, I think Arizona's still gonna be on that 1-9. Syracuse losing, I think they overlooked Boston College for the Duke game on Saturday. I'll get into that in a minute. It's gonna be, I'm looking forward to sitting and doing nothing Saturday. It's gonna be a huge Saturday of top 25 college basketball games. I think Saturday will be the start to run the March Madness. Packed show today. Very packed show tonight. I'm gonna get into the Ray Rice situation here in a second. Gonna give you my opinion on the dunk contest, as well as my predictions for a couple of the MMA fights. I got a couple comments on. I should discuss that since I am a huge UFC fan. And as well, I will get to, as everyone asked, my thoughts on MLB this year. And people will get that. And I will do that here in a second. I am going to start with the Ray Rice situation. I think that's a huge come on, man. First of all, I don't know what Ray Rice is doing in Atlantic City. First of all, you just had the worst statistical year of your career. I don't know why you would be in Atlantic City. I would be focusing on how to become a better running back, in my opinion, because that last year he just had probably, he was horrible, and I know it cost a lot of, I know I have a lot of friends on that watch this video, and other people that play fantasy football, and they're after Ray Rice. I was one of them in one of my leagues last year, and him not showing up bit me in the butt, and I think Ray Rice shouldn't. First of all, Ray Rice can afford entourage, security, the whole nine. He shouldn't have not been getting in that mess in the first place. So it's very sketchy right now because the full details of the Ray Rice video and what really happened hasn't surfaced and came out yet. But I still think he's just a complete idiot and a complete dumbass. He should be focusing on getting his career back on the map. I don't know what the Baltimore organization's doing with this. I think it was completely stupid, like I said. And I think he needs to get his ass in gear and get himself back in and not even be back in the limelight at all the rest of the off season. He knows he's got a make or break year this year. He's got to make up for how bad he had how bad of a year he had last year, because I believe Ray Rice's contract his last year, unless he signed a fat extension, is done after this year, but I'm not 100% positive on that. I know one of you guys will comment and tell me if that's so. The dunk contest, God, that was awful. The team concept I liked. It was okay. I kind of missed the individualism of it, but it is what it is. The NBA is trying to bring it back, trying to make it
a watchable event again. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, but that's a wait and see. It was just a weak NBA dunk contest. My UFC predictions for I'm gonna just cover the last 3 fights on the main card. It's a very weak card in my opinion. Um, this is to Jesse and my and Steve B. If you guys don't like the UFC part, you guys can always fast forward it. I know it's different strokes for different folks. Um, McDonald Maia. Maia's been on a tear since he's gotten the 170 division. Roy looked weak. He didn't look good at all in his last fight against Robbie Lawler. Um, I'm going to take Maia in the unanimous decision. The co-main event is Dan Cormier versus Patrick Cummins. It was originally Cormier versus Rashad Evans, which now Rashad will be just underwent knee surgery yesterday. This is Cormier's first fight at the 205. I don't know. This is going to be a crazy weird fight to predict because Cummins took this last minute about a week ago. I'm going to take Cormier in a unanimous decision just because of the X factor of Cummins, and we don't really know about anything about him. If some of my bigger MMA fans know about him, please get a hold of me and let me know. I've never heard of the kid. And then the main event is Ronda Rousey versus Sarah McMahon. It's a 5-round women's bantamweight title fight. McMahon's gonna bring it. I think this is gonna be a decent fight, just like Rousey's last fight against. I'm trying to remember now. It's been a rough week, folks. I apologize. And I should know this too. Miesha Tate. I apologize. I with the armbar, their famous armbar. I gotta take Rousey via armbar over McMahon in the third again. I think McMahon's gonna have a decent fight. It's gonna go first 2 rounds, and then I think Rousey's gonna finally solve the McMahon puzzle in the third round. There is my UFC 170 predictions. I'm looking forward to the next month of 171. That's a very much loaded card, and I will definitely talk about 171 that week of the pay-per-view, and I will probably watch it wherever I'm at, either here or in Kazoo or wherever I'm at that time. Yeah, I'm gonna omission from last week. I apologize to certain college basketball fans about not talking about the mid majors like Wichita State and San Diego State. Wichita State is on the 1 line right now, but the kicker is I don't know how good Wichita State is. Yes, they went to the Final Four last year. Yes, they're undefeated right now this year. But the kicker is they haven't really played anybody. The Missouri Valley Conference is down this year. It's really down. Creighton, who was in the Missouri Valley, moved into the AAC, formerly known as the Big East. So you really can't tell how good Wichita State is until the tourney. I'm hoping, as a college basketball fan, that Wichita State brings it, for one. And two, I hope that the tournament committee loads up the Wichita State bracket. I really do. I don't think Wichita State is that good. I think they will make it to possibly the Sweet 16 and get bounced, in my opinion, right now. Before I get into requests, like I said, I'm gonna thank everybody again. Um, this is I'm gonna tackle Saturday now. The biggest, I think, arguably the biggest Saturday of college basketball this year. I'm stoked. I'm ready. Basically, this is I will be probably flipping back and forth from games. Um, I'm gonna pop up the list right now because I don't have it right in front of me. Duke and North Carolina. I might actually turn that on here after I'm done with this cast. I will also tackle the NBA trade deadline here after I'm done talking about college basketball. I'm a little flustered with the college basketball, how that went today. With the NBA trade deadline, I apologize. Yeah, as I said, it's going to be loaded. If I'm up at noon, I'm going to be definitely catching Cincinnati versus Louisville. That's kicking off Saturday's top 25. Um, get ready. I think, like I said, Louisville is the champ. They looking like they can make another deep run again this year. That game's going to be really, really good. Also, at the same time, Wisconsin is playing Iowa. Um, this could determine the number 2 or 3 seed in the Big Ten tournament, depending on what goes down the next 3 weeks. Iowa or Wisconsin could also win the number 1. Like I said, it's really close. The Big Ten is, I would right now say, the best conference in college basketball right now. You can make an argument for the Big 12 as second, maybe first. That's, like I said, that's a debate right there. Other big games on Saturday will be Texas and Kansas. I will be watching that. Texas is in second right now in the Big 12. Kansas is in first. I was a big fan of Kansas from the start this year. I like Wiggins. I think he's still going to be a top 3 pick. It's going to be a good game. I can't wait. And then a game I'm waiting for on Saturday, even though Syracuse did lose to Boston College, going into Cameron against Duke. This game, I believe, is going to be the best game on Saturday. If you guys, to my college basketball fans, I know you guys remember the double OT game about a month ago, I want to say. I think it's going to be just like that again. It's going to be a knockout, drag 'em out brawl. And I think it's going to be a damn good game. Yeah, and that's what I'm excited for Saturday. Sunday, I'm going to now start covering topics that people wanted me. This goes shout out to my boy Ice, who shoots better than Mark Price, and my boy Ice is a wreck. Price went to Georgia Tech. There you go, Ice. He wanted me to get into the Michigan State game, which is Sunday afternoon. This game it's kind of a double-edged sword because Michigan chokes against Wisconsin, and then hours later, Michigan State gets thrashed by Nebraska, and I think what happened was they both overlooked the blue-green game round 2 and both teams, they know that both of it, it's unexcusable. This game's bigger for, I believe, Michigan, because Michigan State's loaded. They're back. Brandon Dawson's healthy. Adrian Payne's healthy. They've got their full roster. They're loaded. Michigan, like I told people that Michigan had a brutal stretch. They're 1-2 with this ranked team stretch. I don't think it's going to hurt Michigan, but at the same time, going into the tourney, you can't go 500 into the tourney and do work in the tourney in the last 6 to 10 games in conference. But like I said, I think it's a big game for Michigan. It's also a big game for State with everyone healthy to get the split. I think State will win and get the split because I just got a gut that almost year in and year out, it's always a split unless a hotter team is playing it right now, and Michigan and Michigan State are playing at about the same level. The difference is only by a half a game right now. Michigan wins. They will own a 2-game lead on the conference. This is why I'm saying it's a bigger game for Michigan, because Michigan wins at home, which they should do. They will hold the head-to-head record against State, and then still have a 1 to 2 game lead on Iowa, depending if Iowa does beat Wisconsin on Saturday. NBA trade deadline was today, and go figures, there was nothing much. I love how there was rumors with big names, but go figures, it's the deadline and it goes without a bang. I think the Lakers are the losers. They could have gotten assets for Pau Gasol. I still disagree with trading Steve Blake. We're not healthy at the guard. This is kind of answering a request from Lance. I think the Lakers were losers in today's deadline. I think they were the biggest losers of the deadline because they had so many movable pieces. The Lakers didn't pull the trigger on some of these movable pieces. The bigger winners in the deadline today, I believe, were the Wizards and the Pacers. And you're gonna go say, Chaloni, why the Wizards? Well, the Wizards got Andre Miller, and I'm a huge Andre Miller fan. He can still produce at a decent production rate. I think he's arguably, you can arguably say he's one of the best backup point guards in the league. I think he's going to help teach John Wall to become a better point guard as well. Andre Miller is I believe a 15-year vet. So I think, and that's going to help the Wizards. The Wizards are right now, are in the playoff hunt right now, and that's going to help the Wizards get better. And I think Washington might be scary in the playoffs. The East is weak. Everyone knows it. This trade helps Washington, and so that's why I say Washington is a winner at the deadline. The Pacers trade Granger to the Sixers for Evan Turner. And I know people are saying, okay, head scratcher, why Evan Turner? Granger will be a free agent at the end of the year. And this helps the Pacers get younger, somewhat healthier. And this helps the Pacers defensively for the playoffs when they go play against Miami, because Turner can defend the lengths of Wade and a little bit on LeBron as well. And and Turner's somewhat underrated on defense. He can't really shoot it, but he's still good defensively, and that's why I say that today the Pacers and the Wizards are the biggest winners of the deadline today. I'm gonna tackle now what I wanted to tackle tonight, and that was my baseball predictions for the year. I'm going to take care of Andrew's question right now. My prediction for Prince in Texas, and are the Tigers better this year? See, this is a double-edged sword. I'm a huge Prince Fielder fan. I understand why the trade happened. Prince and his pops don't see eye to eye. Cecil lives near Detroit. I don't know if you guys heard. Also, Prince went through a divorce. Former Tigers outfielder Avisail Garcia cheated on with Prince's wife. If you don't believe it, Google it, look it up. It's true. There's numerous reports about it. I'm hoping Kinsler can be the Ian Kinsler of Texas of old. Hit 20, drive in 80 to 90, steal 15 to 20, and hit 280 to 290. He does that, great for the Tigers. I think this was a Brad Ausmus move, in my opinion. I think, like I said, I still think Prince is going to kill it in Texas. You're playing 81 games in the most run-friendly ballpark in the majors, next to the Great American Launchpad in Cincy. I still think that Prince is going to hit 40 bombs, drive in 120, and hit 280 to 290. Some of you guys think I may be nuts, but Prince is going to finally get to hit in the 3. Warren Washington's already came out and said he's hitting in the 3-hole. Next question. This is going to be the first year that Prince Fielder is not going to be backing up somebody. And if you guys look at Prince's numbers backing up somebody, they were pretty damn good. Hit anywhere from 25 to 40 home runs, drove in 100-plus ribbies consistently, and hit anywhere from 270 to 290. Pretty damn scary. You're now going to move him. You're going to now move him into the 3, and then have Adrian Beltre hitting in the 4. That's going to be pretty damn scary. I'll get into Texas later on with the division. I'm going to answer the Tigers question here in a minute. I also wanted to cover one other thing with the NBA. Lance asked me about the Lakers because me and him are big time Lakers fans. The rebuild, I believe, is going to take another 2 years. I'm hoping and praying for the Lakers to get a top 3 pick and either get Jabari Parker if he comes out, Andrew Wiggins if he comes out, which he probably will, I really like Tyler Enos, the point guard from Syracuse. He's smart. I told you guys about him last week when he hit that 35-footer to win the game in Pitt. And as a freshman, that's pretty scary. I wanted Marcus Smart, but the maturity issues are there for Marcus Smart, and that's why I've leaned off of Marcus Smart. It all depends on what happens next deadline, next year. Kevin Love came out and said he wants to come to LA. I want Kevin Love. Kevin Love has came out and admitted and saying he wants to play for the Lakers. If Kevin Love comes to the Lakers, they get a Wiggins or a Parker or an Enos. That will help us for the 2015 market. I don't know who's big on the 2015 market. We'll wait and see. I still think the Lakers are 2 years away, Lance. That will answer your question, and I'm hoping and praying it's only 2 years. To Andrew's last question, are the Tigers going to be better this year? I think it's going to be a push on how well the Tigers are going to be this year. I still think it's going to be almost about the same amount of wins as last year. You're going to see a lot of hit and run more this year. You're not going to see Cabby or Prince hitting 3-run knocks. I've also read that you will see Victor Martinez behind the plate maybe 2-3 times a week. I don't know how that's going to affect Avila. That's a wait and see. They might when Victor's DHing, or when Victor's catching, Alex is going to be DHing. I have no idea on that yet. I still think that the bullpen is very, very shaky. I'm still kind of not sold on Jabba Chamberlain, Albuquerque, and Phil Koch. I love Joe Nathan. That's a great sign. But the bullpen, that's just going to be a wait and see. I'm really, really, really leery. We'll wait and see on the Ian Kroll part. Ian Kroll and Lombardi, who came to Doug Fister trade, which I'm not sold on. I think Doug Fister shouldn't have been traded. I think that move might come back to haunt him. Smiley has not pitched more than 140 innings. I'm kind of leery on that too. We'll wait and see. But the Tigers always seem to prove me wrong. But I still think it's a push, Andrew. I still think you're going to see 92 to 94 wins with the Tigers. But I hope. I know there's a lot of Tigers fans on that listen to this. I know you guys will agree the bullpen is probably the most shakiest part of this roster. And I would love to hear you guys text me, IM me, email me, and agree to disagree. I would love to do that. The last thing I will get to is, as you all know, pitchers and catchers were reported last weekend. You guys know I'm probably one of the biggest baseball fans around. I will be breaking down now division by division, giving you guys my winners and possibly my World Series pick. I'm going to start with the NL. I think, and this is kind of scary because Washington reloaded. They got Doug Fister in a trade that helped their pitching rotation out. And that was basically the big piece for Washington. I think it's a two-team race in the NL East. I don't like the Mets. The Mets really didn't add a whole lot. Curtis Granderson is fragile. He's old, and he can't hit for average. You might, if you can get a healthy Curtis Granderson, you'll get 265, possibly 25 bombs, and 80 to 90 runs driven in. Adding Bartolo Colon is just a soft adage to the loss of Matt Harvey, which you guys all know tore his elbow. He's going to practically be out all year. He said he might pitch in September, but that's a wait and see. Philly's old. I don't like Philly at all. I think you're still going to see Philly under 500 again. I think this summer might be the summer where you see some of these god-awful contracts by Philly getting dealt at the deadline, like Cliff Lee if he pitches decent, maybe Chase Utley if he can stay healthy and hit the ball and drive well. Ryan Howard, I don't know. I'm not a big Ryan Howard guy anymore ever since he got hurt. And he can't hit for average with the crap. We already know Miami's probably arguably the second crappiest team in baseball. I see I see Atlanta and Washington coming down. I see with Washington adding Doug Fister. You can make an argument for Washington having the deepest rotation in baseball with Gio Gonzalez, Steven Strasburg, Jordan Zinnerman, and Doug Fister, and John Lannon. I believe. I'm not 100% who their five is, but those four alone, that's just too damn scary in my opinion. I will take Washington winning the NL East close. I'll say by 2 or 3 games. I think Atlanta will win a wild card spot. I think it's gonna be different this year. Um, I'm gonna go to the Central now. NL Central. St. Louis really didn't do a whole lot adage wise. They added Johnny Peralta, which I think is going to be big dividends. With that lineup, it does hurt the blow a little bit of losing Carlos Beltran, but as St. Louis fans know, they got a deep farm system. They'll easy real plays. They traded David Freese away. I think that was a smart move. They got pitching out of it, and you guys know that St. Louis wins with practically a no-name roster that people never hear of, and then by the end of the year, you'll hear more on who these Cardinal players are. Um, I still think Pittsburgh's going to be in the mix. The kicker is this was it just a 1-year wonder? That's going to be the big kick. If so, we'll wait and see. I like Pittsburgh, but I don't know. It's just going to be a wait and see. Pittsburgh's going to be a giant crapshoot. They didn't really add much. They didn't really lose much. They only lost AJ Burnett to the Phillies, but that doesn't really matter. AJ Burnett is losing his talent, in my opinion. I still think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be St. Louis Cincy like it is almost every other year. Even though Cincy loses Shin-Soo Choo to the Rangers, they got arguably the best prospect coming up, and Billy Hamilton. He's on my fantasy baseball radar. The guy could freaking run. I would love to put him up against any of the fastest players in the majors. I think he's legit. I think he might win NL Rookie of the Year if he can hit the ball and steal like he did in September. I think he almost hit 370 and stole 15 bases in the span of 3 weeks, which kind of says something that's pretty damn scary. And if he can do it again this year, I think he has a very, very, very good chance of winning NL Rookie of the Year. Now, to answer Lance's last question, he is a big Dodgers fan. I still have the Dodgers winning this division. I think there's going to be some question marks after the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers still will win this by at least 7 to 9 games. I do like Arizona, though. I think Arizona's 1 year away from making this a two-team race in the NL West. I do like the Arizona trade of Mark Trumbo and Addison Reed. That's a huge pickup for Arizona. They get a solidified closer. Addison Reed's legit, and he's young. And they get Mark Trumbo, who could play third base, who could play left field, and who can freaking hit the holy hell out of the baseball, driving it out of the launch pad of Chase Field if you hit it to left or right field. Dead center, it's kind of a little bit different. I still like the Dodgers winning this division. San Fran is a question mark. You don't know what Tim Lincecum you're going to get. You don't know if Pablo, a.k.a. Kung Fu Panda Sandoval, is going to keep the weight off. I'm not big on Vogelsong, and I'm not big on Tim Hudson. Colorado, I do like the addition of Justin Manoah. You guys know who I'm talking about. It's getting a little late for me. But the question is, It's how far can Troy Tulowitzki take them. It's basically Tulo stays healthy, how far Colorado can take the Rockies. San Diego, they only added Benoit. San Diego's a giant mess right now. I'm not big on the Padres. So in the National League, I will give, as I said, I will take Washington winning the NL East by a couple of games. I'll take Atlanta winning a wild card. I'll take St. Louis repeating the division again, with Cincy winning the second wild card. I think Pittsburgh's going to be a close third in the division, but I'm still leery if it was just a one-hit wonder. I'll take the Dodgers and the NL West. I'll come back to the NL playoff-wise here in a second, prediction-wise. Now I'm going to shift to the AL, and give me a second, guys. I'm going to get something to drink, and then I will give you my AL predictions, and then my playoff predictions for baseball, and then I will end this episode for the week. I apologize. Okay, AL East. I like Boston repeating. Boston didn't lose much. They lost Jacoby Ellsbury. They kept Mike Napoli. People may think I'm a little nuts, but I'm not. I'm not a big fan of Ellsbury. He can never stay healthy. I'll get to that point in a minute with the Yankees. I like this Boston team. I'm a huge Dustin Pedroia guy. I love Dustin Pedroia. He's 5'5", $150, and he can still hit the crap out of the baseball average-wise. It depends on how the older vets in the starting rotation take them. Can John Lackey still produce? We won't see Dempster this year. John Lester's a beast. Can Clay Buchholz stay healthy? If Lackey can produce, Lester can be beast-like, and Buchholz stays healthy, then yes, I think Boston wins this division, and I think that will happen. I do like Boston winning this division. I still like Tampa being a close second. I think Joe Maddon is arguably the best manager in baseball. You give him a roster with under $100 million team, he will produce anyway, anyhow. I like the Tampa Bay roster. I hope Desmond Jennings steps up. That'd be a big plus for them. I love Evan Longoria. I love David Price. Grant Belfour is now going to be closing in Tampa. I like Tampa winning a wild card spot in the East. I like Baltimore third. I love Chris Davis. They added some pitching. They got Ubaldo, and Ubaldo pitched like a beast in the second half. They added the second best Korean pitcher. We'll wait and see how that pans out. But I love Chris Davis. Chris Davis is going to mash, and I think they're good. Toronto's always a crapshoot. I still think they're going to be dead last in this division, even though they got some decent talent, but they just can't. Their pitching rotation is just horrible. I don't think they can get it together pitching wise. I still think they're going to be dead last. I think the Yankees are going to be fourth. Shock and awe. I know if there's any Yankee fans that listen to this, go ahead and bash me for all you want. They were tied for third last year. So even though they go sign Tanaka and go sign Brian McCann and go sign Jacoby Ellsbury and go sign Carlos Beltran, McCann's been injury prone. Ellsbury's been injury prone. Beltran's 36, 37. So you don't know what You might get the same old Carlos Beltran, but you never know. I'm not a big Yankees guy, and plus it's gonna be a epic Derek Jeter love fest since he is retiring at the end of the year. I hate the Yankees, but I like Derek Jeter. Class act, aka Captain Clutch in the playoffs. Every single time I watch a Yankees playoff game, you see Derek Jeter making a incredible play or getting a huge freaking hit for the Yankees. Um, he will be a first ballot Hall of Famer in my opinion. Um, I'm gonna tackle the AL Central last because we talked about the Tigers, and I'll give you guys that, and then I'll give my Mariners prediction here in a quick second. Um, I like Oakland winning the division again, maybe, but we'll wait and see. I think Texas can overtake it, and I'm gonna take Texas. Oakland has this almost the same roster, but I'm still kind of shaky on Jim Johnson and the back of that bullpen. And can Oakland do it again with some of these guys as well? It's a wait and see. Some of these pitchers like Sonny Gray and Brett Anderson. The problem with Oakland a little bit is their pitching rotation health. Can they stay healthy? And I think this might be the year where you might see or you might not see that happen. And that's why I like Texas in this division. Even though Texas loses Ian Kinsler, they go add Shin-Soo Choo and Prince Fielder, and in that ballpark, you might see Shin-Soo Choo being a 25 and 25 guy and hitting almost 300. Like I already gave you guys my prediction on Prince. I think he's going to kill in Texas. I think Texas is going to win this division. I think Yu Darvish is going to pitch like a boss. He showed it last year. I think he's going to be the ace of this rotation. I like Texas winning this division by a couple of games. I like Oakland second. I think Oakland will win the second playoff spot, wild card spot. I like the Mariners being third in this division. I think they're going to be near 500. I think we're 1 year away from contending. We made some big splashes this year with getting Robinson Cano, getting Fernando Rodney. I'm not sold on the Logan Morrison trade yet. I'm not sold on Corey Hart either. I think if I'm not a big fan of Corey Hart. He's always been injury prone. So that's a wait and see. I would like to possibly go get Irvin Santana still, or go re-sign Kendrys Morales. That would be a big boost in my opinion. If they go get Irvin Santana, that would make me a very happy camper. With then the Mariners having Felix, Iwakuma, Irvin Santana, if they do sign him, and Taijuan Walker, who I think is going to win AL Rookie of the Year. Look out for Danny Holtzen too, or James Paxton. I've been hearing more on Paxton. He's going to possibly be the number 5. I'm going to warn you guys right now. Get ready for Taijuan Walker and James Paxton. These two kids are the real deal. And that's why I'm saying Taijuan Walker will win AL Rookie of the Year. He is the real freaking deal. Tigers fans know they saw him against him in September last year. I think he's going to be the real deal. I think he will be a solid number 3 in 3 to 4 years and a possible All-Star. To Detroit, to now the AL Central. I already told you guys Detroit's going to win the Central. I think they're going to probably have the same amount of wins or near it as last year. I see Kansas City being actually a real threat maybe this year, if not next year. I think this might be the last year. You might see a comfy division, all depending on what Cleveland does next year in the offseason. Cleveland lost a little bit this year with Scott Kazmir gone and Ubaldo gone. I like Danny Salazar. That kid's going to be, I think that might be a two-man horse with the AL Rookie of the Year between Salazar and Taijuan Walker. I think that's going to be a real legit race between those two. Like I said, I think Kansas City is going to be a threat. They'll probably be second in the division. I think they're only going to lose to the Tigers by maybe 3 or 4 games, and they might lose the second wild card spot to the A's by a game, or there'll be a 1-game playoff between the Royals and the A's, and that will make Kansas City fans very, very happy if that does. Cleveland, I'll say, will be third in this division. Like I just mentioned, they lost Kazmir, they lost Ubaldo. I like Danny Salazar. Their offense is a little shaky. The question is, can Justin Masterson improve like he did last year? He did better, but I don't know if we're going to see more of an improvement from Justin Masterson and see if he can be the legit ace of that staff. And then this is the crazy thing is this between Minnesota and Chicago, coin flip on who's going to be dead last in this division. Chicago, you can see, is going younger by getting Jose Abreu, getting Adam Eaton. It's a wait and see. Minnesota redid their whole entire pitching rotation by getting Phil Hughes, Ricky Nolasco. I think they got John Neese as well. I'm not 100% on that one. You'll see Kurt Suzuki be the full-time catcher in Minnesota now. Joe Mauer will be going to first base. They have already came out. Minnesota management has already came out and said that Joe Mauer will be playing first base for the Twins this year, and I think that's going to help Joe Mauer with his legs. And you're going to see Joe Mauer be Joe Mauer, and I think it's going to help him a lot. So my AL predictions is Boston repeating the AL East. Tampa Bay winning one of the wild card spots. Detroit winning the Central with KC possibly winning the second one or forcing a 1-game playoff. Texas winning the AL West, and Oakland as the second wild card spot or playing in a 1-game playoff. Now I'm going to get to the NL playoffs and then the AL playoffs, give you my possible World Series, and then I'll possibly give you guys an MVP out of both leagues. And then I will thank you guys and bid for due for the evening. I know it's a long show, but people asked. I had 2 or 3 people ask me to dissect my opinion on baseball. If you guys don't like it, you can always kill it after the 30-minute mark, and I apologize. I think, like I said, it's good. I think I'm going to just go give it NLCS right now. I think it's going to be Washington and the Dodgers. I think St. Louis will lose in the first round, even though they made it to the World Series last year. I think Washington and the Dodgers are more loaded, pitching-wise and offense-wise. I see the Dodgers actually coming out of the NL this year. They almost did last year. They lost to St. Louis in 6. With Ryu Ryu another year under his belt. Kershaw, I hope Kershaw doesn't crack like Verlander did after he got his big deal. I think Hanley Ramirez staying healthy like he did last year, he's going to crush it. Adrian Gonzalez is going to be Adrian Gonzalez. There's just so many. The biggest question for the Dodgers right now is Matt Kemp going to stay healthy and can be the old Matt Kemp? That's the biggest question. If he can, and he could be healthy, the Dodgers are going to be very, very scary, and they might run away with the West by September. I like the Dodgers coming out of the NL. In the AL, it's going to be a crapshoot. I'm going to go out on a limb and go a repeat of last year with Boston and Detroit. And as of right now, I will take the Tigers over the Red Sox, just because of the offense, and I think just with how Brad Ausmus is going to operate this team with a hit and run, adding more speed with Kinsler and Rajai Davis, and a healthy Miguel Cabrera, I think that will push him over the edge. I see the Dodgers and the Tigers in the World Series. And I'm sorry, Tiger fans, you'll not get a World Series this year. I see the Dodgers beating the Tigers in 6. AL MVP will either be Miguel Cabrera or Mike Trout, in my opinion. AL Rookie of the Year, in my opinion, will be Taijuan Walker, with Danny Salazar being a close second. NL MVP, I will give it to Paul Goldschmidt. I don't care what people say. You're going, Cheloni's not going to be a playoff. Arizona's not. You already said he's not going to be in the playoffs. But people don't know Paul Goldschmidt was third place in the MVP voting last year and had a breakout year. And with Mark Trumbo there, I think he's going to improve even better. I love Paul Goldschmidt. He was basically my godsend for fantasy baseball last year. I think he's going to kill it. I think he will win, with McCutchen possibly being right there neck and neck with him, and maybe Buster Posey, but it depends on how the Giants play this year as well. And Rookie of the Year already gave you it. Billy Hamilton, I think he will win it hands down. So with that being said, I've gone 52 minutes. I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate you guys watching or listening to me rant and rave. With this I love doing this. I appreciate it. It might change here in the weeks to come. As some of you guys know that watch or listen to this, I've got a possible position. I'm hoping I'll know here in the next couple of days, and I'll let you guys know. I might make a 3-minute little video if I get an interview or not. Keep your fingers crossed. If that does happen and I do get the position, I will announce it on the vlog of that week and give you guys a possible better day on when I will be doing it. Like I said, I appreciate all you guys watching. If you got any questions, email me at james.r.cheloni@wmich.edu. Facebook me at James Cheloni, or text me. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Keep bringing those questions, and everyone have a good weekend and be safe. Later.